we're doing here. And to recap what we've said about the foot bath, we do this for an hour, and we have as much of the depth that we can get. The deeper the better, up to the knee is good. And you put in, you can even put charcoal in here. And it should not bother the motor if it's a real fine powder, or you have it in a bag. Then you also can do the eucalyptus leaves. They are the ones that Selected Messages Book 2 talks about. You need the eucalyptus in there. It's going to cause dilation of the pores and a quicker effect. I don't know why even putting the eucalyptus oil with olive oil and rubbing the feet and the legs is recommended by God. It will increase your circulation. It will also add therapy to your lungs. It must enter the bloodstream in some manner to be able to do that, as far as I can understand the physiology of it. To put the sheet totally over is the best therapy, because you're breathing it as well. If they have a headache, you can have them sipping on water and massage their shoulder muscles and their neck. And if they start feeling too warm, you can put some cool cloth on their head so they're not uncomfortable through this.
So this entire hour, that foot bath is warm?
Yes,
Do you have to keep adding water to
to keep it warm.
That does not heat it, it just makes it go.
Some have the buttons that will keep it warm. I have the pan under there to keep the carpet from getting wet.
Yeah.
It somehow has a drain that sometimes drips.
Yeah.
So I
see it
keep
is
that.
leaking. Yeah, it is.
Thank you, Jenny, for helping us get this together. Thank you for helping demonstrate this. The armpits and the groin, you take a small washcloth, cut the washcloth in fours, get a lavish amount of
We got the charcoal.
hot charcoal, okay.
Yeah.
Hot.
Heat it up in the water of the eucalyptus if you don't have charcoal of eucalyptus. Put that in the armpits and over the abdomen. Also put one like a thin diaper with the charcoal on it, and then start your hot and cold. You want it right near the skin to do that charcoal. Then you put your layers, only two, nice thick towel like this if it's a younger person. You get 55, 65, your skin is thinner. You're going to burn easier. You're going to blister easier. So get 6 layers on the elderly, and then you will never be embarrassed that you've burned them.
6 layers underneath the heart.
Yeah. Then you come with a twisted towel. Now see how when I twist it, I'm touching me because I'm trying to twist it myself. If you have a partner that's helping you, you're lucky, because you don't. So you have to kind of twist it like that. It hits your body, it's going to burn you and get you close. So you twist it while it's dry. And then if you can get somebody to hang on to the end of that and go into the water with you, clear and merge it totally. But keep this corners out, it's dry. Then you're not going to burn your hands, hopefully, if you do it right. And then pull it out and pull tight, and then go quickly, as fast as you can, to cover them. Cover with a towel and with a woolen blanket or some other blanket if you can find it. Then
So you don't have to double the fomentation towel.
The hot one.
if you do, you'll have a lot of good. If it's a big person, you might want to spread it out like this.
Okay.
It's dry out here on the ends anyway.
Yeah.
So keep it nice and warm. 20 minutes go by. You're checking first 5 minutes, feeling, if you feel it's a little too hot, you quickly put in another towel layer to keep them from burning. And then come back 20 minutes. Then you're going to flip it off, have another set ready. So during that 20 minutes, you have work to do.
Yeah.
You're getting your water ready, you're getting your towel ready, and you can take the hot towel. I'll show you a trick that I've got. You take that hot towel to get it ready early, and you get it all twisted up, and it's already boiling hot, and you twist it like this so it conserves all the heat like this, and you wrap it up, and even if you have foil, it'll reflect so you got it in there, and then, you know, these hot and cold packs you can take out of a store with the frozen things in it, stick it inside there, and zip it shut, and so you have 3 or 4 hot towels waiting and ready. So if there's not 2 of you doing it, you can do it that way. And it's all sitting there in that bag. You do the ice, 5 minutes, do that ice. If they don't like 5 minutes, you keep them happy. So then we flip it back on, go another 20 minutes, and keep checking. We've got a new towel. This is not the first one. It's covered it up nice and warm.
You're working quickly, like Jenny was just
Yeah.
saying.
And so you're really exhausted when you do this for 2 hours, and you flip them over and you do it again. But you see so much a difference. You're inspired to keep going.
The second hour on the back.
When I went all the way up to Mountain View, it was really a blessing to see how quickly they felt better. So then, after that, 3 and 3 on the other side, if they have really bad headache and fever, the next step you're going to go to the hot foot bath. Yes, if they have a sinus infection, you take your washcloth, smaller towels you can also do. Be really careful, you're right near the eyes.
Yeah.
You, very, very sensitive here, but you can use washcloths, smaller, or face towels up there to help the sinus. Some intense sinus pain right in here. Be really careful not to burn the skin.
What about clogged ears? What about clogged ears that aren't clearing from when, like, say they're blowing their nose too hard and they...
Yeah.
What's the trick for
The
that?
foot bath and the eucalyptus lozenges. The eucalyptus lozenge can work from the inside. The eustachian tube is open at the back, and the inner ear pressure becomes equalized as you're taking the lozenge. I put some by your place, Kate.
Yeah, I noticed those were really great. Were those eucalyptus?
These are eucalyptus, and
Oh, wow.
pomegranates have zinc in them.
Oh, my.
Jenny orders these online for me. They're really nice. They have pomegranates, my favorite. They have honey, they have lemon, they have eucalyptus. All of them have eucalyptus. Pomegranate has zinc in it. So it's real helpful for opening up the sinus, opening up the ears. If you're on an airplane and the ears are in a lot of pain, a sinus is in terrible pain, take a lozenge and it will quickly open up things for you.
Can I recap on how to do a child?
I want to recap on Rono here. He's got congestion and stridor. He's had a fever of 104 and he needs some help. He's really sick and he's struggling to breathe, so we could put a pillow to give him some elevation so he's not feeling like he's drowning. That pillow, thank you, that's nice. That's right, I had some more I could have called on. So his elevation will help him breathe while you're doing all this, and he's not going to panic and throw off the treatment quicker. You want 6 layers on this little guy. You put on the 6 layers of towels, and we can borrow something here. The 6 layers, 1, 2, we've got 4, 5, 6. I've got it right there. He's got a small chest anyway. You got it there. And then we get the hot towel. We put it on real quick. We do the same thing. I like a smaller towel on a kid, but I never argue. If I have a towel, I'm thankful. Again, you twist it really tight. Before you put it in the water, each time you do the towel, put it in, stretch it out, over the cap. Now I have 4-year-old Rono, who has had the fever, as I mentioned in class, up to 104, and is coughing and having diarrhea and having difficulty breathing and sleeping. So I have something for his comfort. It is Caro syrup frozen, and it is going under his hat. And a frozen eye patch going on his eyes. And the towel is here to keep the vapor inside. He has eucalyptus vapor, pine, fir, spruce, and cedar in the cabinet. And you can do that with a sheet. With the child, to fit in the cabinet, we put a booster seat. And with the booster seat is the potty chair in case he needs to have his diarrhea. So a little look inside the cabinet. And of course he won't be left without attendance at all times in case he starts to get too active in here. When he starts feeling better, he's on his little potty chair on the booster seat, and it's nice and steady. So you can have a good look at that. There's the pine, the eucalyptus, the fir, the cypress in boiling water making the steam, and it was just pouring out around the opening, around the face, so you want to keep the eyes cooled and the head cooled. And this will not be a whole hour for him. I don't ever have that long of success for one that size unless he's greatly entertained by something going on around him, a book being read to him or some other stories told to him to keep him happy while he's inside this box. And the sheet, if you don't have the steam cabinet, a sheet works just nicely. Rono's temperature is going up again, so I'm putting the charcoal in his armpits. It's wet with abundant amount of charcoal in it. I'm putting it in his groin. And over his tummy. This is a warm, wet cloth with charcoal in it. Okay. Time to close the sheet over the steam cabinet. Rono's only 4, so you stay right attending so he doesn't try to climb out or get frightened. And you keep talking, keep your hand on them, stroke their hair,
Give him something good to drink like grape juice or garlic tea with charcoal in it. And keep him happy, tell him stories, and give him a reward for cooperation when he's done with the treatment. Try to get it as long as you can, 35 minutes, 45 minutes. You just have to be real creative in keeping him interested in cooperating. If it doesn't work out, you can't have him on your lap unless you're just under a sheet. I've done that many times for children in the different villages in different countries. They just sit on mother's lap. The vapor, boiling whatever water of eucalyptus leaves, and if there's any pine, with the sheet around them, and the mother is there getting the treatment under the sheet with them. I don't make a hole in the sheet for their heads to come out. I keep them under the sheet, and then they open and get some fresh air when they're needing it, and then put it back. What I've done in the foot bath is I've gotten a wide planter bucket and put 3 garbage can liners in it so that it can hold the water. It's large enough for larger feet, up to size 13 foot. It makes also more area for the vapor to be formed in the treatment. I mentioned in the class that I was very thankful some friends of mine dropped off this steam cabinet. I have often had pneumonia, and it comes and goes every 6 years or 10 years. And I'm so thankful. I've had this now about 10 years. And when things get really rough, this steam cabinet is where I go. I like to have the towel around the neck so that the eyes don't burn as the steam comes out. And I like to have something, when the cabinet door opens, you get a chill immediately. So I like to have some sheet wrapping around and even near this, but I want the vapor coming up inside the cabinet and around my breathing so it goes inside my lungs. I mentioned in the class you can have olive oil and the oil of eucalyptus and rub the legs after the foot bath. This treatment, this part of the treatment, we do for an hour, the steaming, and give the patient a break if they're asking for it. I want to show you that you can also add to the drink of the garlic some powdered charcoal. Stir it in nice. It's tasteless, totally tasteless. Another drink that's really important because it has zinc in it is some of your home canned grape juice. Or get the Welch's grape juice at the store.